So in this video I'm going to show you how to get the tram tickets, the bus tickets, and I did purchase a 24-hour ticket, and also you can purchase paper tickets here as shown, and there is an app called the BVG app which I'll go through at the end. And look, you see here you can select English at the train station menu and select your 24-hour ticket or single journey ticket. Now I do suggest you pick the 24-hour ticket here. There is a number of different language options: French, Spanish, German and so forth. So here's how to use the machine. So as you see here, you just select the language option, then you select 24-hour ticket. It's €10.60. Now on the phone app, the B Berlin VG app is a small bit cheaper, but if you want a single ticket here, you'll see it costs €4.70. So it's better to get the 24-hour ticket as it lasts longer. You can travel on buses, trams, the U-Bahn and such. So a better option, me do think. Also you'll see it covers the airport here, which is also a good option also. It does cover the airport from Berlin Central to Brandenburg Airport, and a good option 24-hour ticket that is. You can pay by cash and card as you can see, but if you have your phone you already have the ticket, scannable barcode. Anybody asks you to see the ticket, you have it there. And look, all these trams are marked with U sign, the destination that you're at. We go along here in Berlin, we're going to show you some cool sites like the Brandenburg Gate, a concentration camp outside Berlin. The good sites, a sad sites, but we're going to go through some of them and how you get to them and how to see. You will see at each bus stop a number, and it allocates to the bus, and it has a timetable also, and you can see here a map of the stops. Now I do suggest you use Google Map, which is a good one to use, and it'll tell you what number of bus. Here's on board the bus, and you can see it tells you the next stops and where you may need to get off. See, the buses here in Berlin has kind of a triple carriage style, and there is comfortable seating. There's USB charge points on board at some of the seating, so very handy. Just to note, your 24-hour ticket can be used on the overground tram as well as the underground system, so it is valid for the A, B. See here that the tram system does have the location the tram is going, and also Google Map is handy to get to your destination. Now also the underground station says where your position is and where the tram goes to. This is the U6 line. I have to say it's not hard to navigate the system here in Berlin. You get used to it after a while, so nothing really to fear. Here you can see we're Unter den Linden, and this is in central Berlin, and that's the station. You'll see it marked with a blue symbol, U5 line, U6. Not very hard to navigate. After a while you get used to it. See one of the sites here at the Brandenburg Gate. Madame Tussauds is a great site to see if you're interested in see it, and one could not leave Berlin without trying the Brockwurst and the fries, curry and ketchup sauce, absolutely delicious with mayonnaise. And here's the Brandenburg Gate. Brandenburg Monument is an 18th century neoclassical monument, and it did mark the start of Berlin. Anyways, the 300 bus is the bus to get here. Also at the Brandenburg Gate there's an information site should you wish and need more information about the sites around Berlin. You hear the sign for the Berlin card, and you can get into some of the monuments and sites for discounted price. I don't think it's a necessity. You can get around by public transport as I've shown here. Right at Brandenburg, here is the 300 bus, which will bring it to the Berlin Wall in East Germany. And we're on the bus here now. I'm going to take the tour to East Germany. Well, not a tour, it's a public bus, but nonetheless, great sights to be seen. Here we'll see the radio tower just ahead, which is another famous site in Berlin near Checkpoint Charlie. And you see Museum Island in Berlin ahead. It's a unique assemble of buildings on Spree Island in the heart of Berlin. Encompasses 5 large Berlin museums built under the Persian rulers. I'll leave the German name here for the island in the description, as you see here, and also the 300 bus does cover this from the Brandenburg Gate. But also, like I said, Google Map is absolutely brilliant. It will show you the stops, what buses to get and such, so do use it. And here you'll see a stop coming up for Museum Island, also known. Museum Island is a new UNESCO World Heritage Site. Such is the splendour and marvel of the paintings and artwork in these museums. And we see the lovely museums again as we pass on through Museum Island on our way to the Berlin Wall again on the 300 bus. Keep repeating it, but it's handy to know, get it into your head, the 300 bus. Now also on the bus, you just show your driver your 24-hour ticket or your single ticket on your phone, as it may be, and you board the bus. Or there is also a point where you can insert your paper ticket to be checked and verified, and on board the bus you go. Now this is just inside the entrance of the bus. Berlin Cathedral is also another brilliant place to see. We didn't get to see it on this visit, but just to note, it's meant to be marvellous inside. We didn't have a chance, we weren't here too long, but here you'll see the beautiful murals as we pass on by towards the Berlin Wall. And here we arrive at the Berlin Wall. Now this is but a stone's throw, say 2 to 3 minutes from Berlin Central Station. So we're going to get off now and have a proper look at the wall. We'll see the stop for the 300 bus is Rummelsburger East Berlin Wall on the 300 bus, as I said. And the primary intention for the construction of the Berlin Wall was to prevent East German citizens from fleeing to the west at the time near World War II and the end of the Cold War. But look, you can see the beautiful murals that are in place today. Guard towers used to be dotted along the wall to stop people from fleeing, but you can see the history here with the scannable barcodes. You can see the artists and such a beautiful river and lakes, parks surrounding it. So a great place to see of historical significance. And a good place of historic significance to see is the concentration camp in Berlin, and it's in Orenburg, as I displayed here in the description. We're going to take the train there now and show you around. Great place for history, but a sad place nonetheless. There are marvellous views on the train to Orenburg. Then you get the bus, and it's around I'd say 10 minutes bus journey, bus right outside the station, and you can visit the concentration camp for free. It's absolutely a hidden gem, great place to see, around an hour away from Berlin, but just something extra to see if you're in Berlin. And Berlin is a super city to visit, not over touristy, not overpacked, and the people I found them super friendly. This is the bus you get right outside the train station. The central station is the 142, so that's the bus you can get, and I leave the description of the concentration camp if you should wish to visit below. So we're here at the concentration camp, Skaushausen is how you pronounce it. I think I'll leave the description below. It's located on the outskirts of Berlin and it serves as an inaugural camp specifically designed under the direction of Heinrich Himmler. This site was originally established to confine foes of the Nazis. Up to around 200,000 people endured imprisonment there, facing systematic torture, starvation, enforced labour and some of the most horrific living conditions imaginable. And we're going to take a tour around here now and show you. It's around an hour away from Berlin, so a little gem to visit, but sad history behind it, I'm sure. This is just the layout of the concentration camp, of the museum, of the anti-fascist freedom struggle of the European people. There is a handy map, and also you can get an audio guide inside, and you can see the different numbers and what the sites meant and what they are, like the prison barracks, kitchens and so forth. It goes through an array of different history of the concentration camp and its horrors. Here you'll see the gates where the prisoners were walked down and are walked for nearly over a mile into the concentration camp in rain, hail, sleet and snow, dire conditions. You can get a guided tour. I think it's €90, but it has to be booked in kind of a group and you have to book in advance, so just extra to note. We'll see one of the prisons where the prisoners were housed. We're going to take a look inside now. The concentration camp was built in the summer of 1936 as a model and training camp. Tens of thousands of more than 200,000 prisoners in territory died as a result of hunger, disease and forced labour. Here you'll see some of the prison cells. It displays some of the history of the prisoners that were kept here in dire conditions, and it is a pretty sad place. You'll see the beds, the sleeping quarters, you'll see where they had to wash coming up later. Such a sad place. You'll see some of the chains that the prisoners had around their legs as they were forced to do labour, manual forced labour. Here you see the sleeping quarters with the beds that the prisoners had to sleep on. Dire conditions, the mattress deplorable, but that was harsh conditions. People had to live here. You see a pole where the prisoners were hung from their feet and executed, tortured and such. Some of the pictures from the museum, it goes through the history of the concentration camp and all the atrocities that happened here. Here you'll see a picture of the prisoners digging their own graves they didn't even know. If you read here, you'll see when the Polish soldiers came, said the prisoners looked frightened, deadly pale, bloodless with transparent faces. Imagine the joy they felt when they saw the Polish soldiers coming to rescue them. And here's a memorial to remember, and it's remembered the prisoners that died here. They were exterminated. And here you see in the barracks where the prisoners used to wash. Up to 400 men had to squeeze into this barracks at one time, and if they washed their feet, they were severely beaten. Here you see the striped pyjamas the prisoners were forced to wear. Very light material. You can imagine in the dead of winter how cold these would be. So I got the €10 BVG ticket, and it lasts for 24 hours, and it's a great ticket. You can use the bus, you can use the rail, as you've seen, and it's pretty handy. You can go all over the place from the Brandenburg Gate. I got the 300 bus all the way to East Berlin Wall, as you saw. Absolutely amazing. Recommend this ticket. You can do things at your leisure, and it is, I suppose, cheaper and more cost effective than the red tour bus, and also tour to the concentration camp. I thought it was pretty unique concentration camp, but you can get an organised day trip to the concentration camp here in Berlin also. Very historic, very sad place for the Jews. So there you go. I hope that offered some useful information to navigate the system that is Berlin. It is a bit complex, but this might give you some insight. Do click the notification, click the like, costs absolutely nothing. Helps me, helps you, helps everybody. Take care.